Welcome to a refurbished Star BM9. Hey guys, Joe here, and today we're taking a look at a quite gross refurbished Star BM9. For those of you that don't know what this pistol is, this is a 9mm semi-automatic 1911-esque high-powery Browning imitation type gun. It's a surplus weapon that was brought into the country by Century Arms. They are in Vermont, according to the really badly etched serial numbers on the slide and the frame of this particular gun. And when in great condition, like the last one that I did some mods to for a friend, they are an incredible deal. They're still available in the 220 to 230 range. This particular one was less because of its condition, and this is what we would call a prime candidate for mods. And in fact, this one is blech. One thing to keep in mind when you're looking at these things is these stupid magazines are not cheap. It's also a single stack design and really needs to be cleaned. I don't know what's on this particular handgun. I will admit, I popped off the grips to see the magazine disconnect, which we will take a look at in a minute. But unfortunately, this is one friggin' grody handgun. And it's a shame because the last one, and you'll be seeing a video of two of these shooting on the same day, was much, much nicer than this one. And it was $30 less expensive because it was used. For those of you that are not familiar with these handguns, the Star BM9 Pistola was a Spanish police weapon as well as given to the military and used by several other countries, I believe, but primarily it was used by the Spanish police force. In fact, that's not the serial number of this handgun. This is the serial number that the police department or military issued when it was issued to somebody after it was purchased from Star. In fact, you can see they removed their markings, which is the circle in there, to remove the identifying marking from whichever military or police force had this pistol. Your actual serial number is on the left side, and it's really hard to see because this gun is grody, but right there, that's the actual serial number for your weapon. One easily identifiable mark, if you can see by my middle finger here, is the year the pistol was manufactured, which was 1977. So this is a early first decade produced pistol. They produced a lot of these. These were actually in production from 1972 to 1992. And we will take a little bit of a closer look at it. Number one, it has a magazine disconnect, so it couldn't fire even if it wanted to. So real quick, you can see completely empty. Looking down the barrel, you can see it is rifled, and the rifling is actually in pretty good shape still. Now, I have looked at a couple of these that have actually had replacement barrels in them. I'm assuming Star must have fitted them with new barrels after their service life, but the barrel on this one looks okay. It just needs to be cleaned. Now, it does look like a 1911. Even has like an enclosed trigger so that it's not open in the back. However, it's not a real 1911 in that functionality. This is actually a pivot style. Don't know how well you can see it in there, but the trigger is actually on a pivot. It doesn't have the wishbone that goes around. Dropping the slide, you do have an external safety, which functions just like a 1911 safety. You do have a slide release and lock, and it works just like a 1911. It even comes out just like a 1911 and pops out. However, there are a couple of key differences. Number one, to disassemble it, you don't take it to there and take it down. You actually take it all the way back, engage the safety into that notch, which will allow you to take the slide off, which I'm going to do right now. I'm holding my phone in my hand, so it's going to take me a second. Mere moments later, and as you can see, I have the grips off of this particular one, and my word, and no, bird is not the word. This is gross. Yeah, definitely gross. It's just a cheap plastic grip. This one actually looks like it was replaced in the last, I don't know, 50 years. But it doesn't look like it's in terrible shape, so I'll continue to keep those on there. However, they really need to be cleaned. That's not grease, it's sticky. So I think somebody was eating a Kit Kat bar before a shootout. As you can see, the residue is actually built up around the grip. Wow, words. As you can see, the grime is quite heavy around it. The trigger is quite discolored. It should be a bright silver, and it's not. And this is just, I mean, bleh. I may have to fully disassemble this, which means I do need a disassembly guide. And there we go. Well, the safety's loose now. Don't lose that pin. Okay, one tip I just realized after doing that is be careful with the safety. The grip actually prevents the safety from coming all the way down and losing the pin, which will then come out and cause all kinds of fun. Moving on to the other side, and yeah, that's just getting worse and worse. It's not any better on this side, guys. This is like I said, this should be blued. It should be the same color as the slide. And as you can see, it ain't. Yuck. This is coming out, by the way. I wanted to show that to you guys. This is the magazine disconnect. When the magazine is out, it allows that little tang to fall down, which then impedes the trigger. So as you can see, it does not work. When the magazine is inserted, it lifts the tang just enough for the trigger to clear it. That's all a magazine disconnect does. So needless to say, I'll be removing that. I live in Virginia. It's not illegal to do, so I'm going to do it. All that means is that the trigger can be pulled when the magazine is out of the handgun, and it's just easier for me to then, dry fire and also check. So you can also see much more clearly the serial number now. And I don't care if you see the serial number on my gun, because this gun is not yours. It's mine. If it's ever used in a crime, you know that it was mine. So I look forward to the ATF coming to visit me. Just kidding. Next thing I'll do is I think I'm going to look up a guide and completely take this thing down, because this is gross. Stage 1 of Project Clean the Crap Out of This Thing is now complete. The mag is completely cleaned, reassembled, and I did put slight bit of lube down the front and the back sides. For the gun lube, I am using Lucas Extreme Duty, as it was recommended to me. It does have a nice needle tip on there for fine and accurate placement of lubricants. Slide is as clean as it gets for a slide of this vintage. I'll probably do a wipe down once it's reassembled, but much better. However, that needs another wipe down. Additionally, I've already removed the magazine safety, as I was able to push it out with just my finger. So now the firearm can, at any time. Warning, do not do this unless you are willing to do this yourself. Check your local and state laws regarding removing magazine safeties and modifying your firearm. State of Virginia, it's not illegal to do. California, it might be. New York, it might be. And a few other states, it might be. However, in my state, it is not, so I did. Because screw that. Yeah. So now I need to actually clean this part of the firearm. God, what was he wearing on his hand? That's sexist. It might have been a woman, a very, very dirty woman. But yeah, that's a lot of wear. So back to it. Many minutes later, this is as clean as this metal is going to get using a gun cleaner and lube. I could get it more invasive in terms of cleaner, but I really don't want to damage anything, so I'm only using gun-approved items. If you've ever seen Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, I could use a lot of like alcohol and bleach and stuff, but that'll blow off my hand, Ma. So I didn't. But as you can see, I've removed pretty much all the gunk that's in the metal. But in the little seams inside the mag well, and it's actually gone from brown to brown silver. So we've made quite a bit of improvement. The slide is much cleaner inside now. You can see that. I cleaned the barrel. Sorry, that's my nerve damage stopping me from being able to do steady cam stuff. And yeah, so most people would be like, all right, I'm done, time to put her back together. But as you know, Joey don't play that. And don't ever call me Joey. I have a gun. Next thing to do is to do a little bit of home gunsmithing. And again, I'm not going to show it on camera, but what I intend to do is make these surfaces even smoother than they currently are. The smoother the gun works, the more satisfying it is to use the firearm. And yeah, so next thing to do is I'm actually going to take some, I'm not going to tell you, but you'll see it when I'm done. So again, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, do, or modify online. But yeah, I'll do that and we'll be back. Next update, as you can see, the firearm is as clean as it can get. And you can tell probably by that thing on my gun pad there what I did. But I've smoothed out the surfaces. Now, the fun part, the reassembly. Honestly, it's not going to be that bad. But yeah, I'm going to lube everything as I'm doing it, because even though these things say that they clean and lubricate in one shot with no oily mess, the fact is this is now completely dry. So yeah, always use good gun lube. Always use more than you think you need. Obviously, you don't want it globbing out of the firearm, but maintenance makes all the difference. And that is the point. I'll come back after I've reassembled the firearm, and we will see how it looks compared to when we started. And here it is reassembled. Now, this entire thing has taken me roughly 2 hours because I was taking my time, but like I said, maintenance and care are two of the most important things you can do here. So you now see how easily that works. You can see that the firearm is lubed up, cleaned up, and as clean as it can get for its age and usage. Things like even here where the inside of these markings that were milled out is cleaner, the trigger is cleaner, the backstrap is no longer dirty brown, it's dirty brown and silver, which is an improvement. And just overall things like right here, the slide is smoother. And I want you to listen as I rack it now. I do apologize, but unfortunately when I'm filming it this way, I didn't have my camera stand out. And yeah, but as you can see, it's reassembled, no magazine in it, it's empty, and now it can fire without the magazine in it. So, next step is to take it out to the range with my friend and see what he thinks. He's got the exact same gun, only his was just used. That's me doing the quotes, used. But it was 15 times cleaner than this one. However, with the little bit of machining I've done to it, we'll see what the difference is between the two firearms. So, next video you see after this one, in regards to this particular pistol, is going to be a at the range review, comparing this one, which was remanufactured, to a just used one. So, if you like that video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have any comments, leave those down below. If you have one of these and you like them, let me know what you do with it. Is it your daily carry? Is it your truck gun? Is it your personal defense weapon? What do you do with it? And, as always, I'll talk to you later.